This is Myron Larimer. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the South Bend Area Realtors. With me today is Erica Young. Erica is with the United Federal Credit Union, doing loans and helping people get into homes. And right now we'd just like to spend a little bit of time with her, asking her some questions about what's currently happening in the market, just so that everybody has a good sense. And we're looking at it from different perspectives. Erica represents credit unions through United Federal Credit Union. We'll also be talking to some people that work directly for a bank and for some independent mortgage brokerage or mortgage correspondence. So with that said, again, welcome Erica Young. First thing is, what's happening in the market and how has it changed in, say, the last 30 days?
Sure. Hi, Myron. Well, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. I know there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of changes and a lot of opinions and a lot of just differing things that are out there that are in and not in our control. And so, as you know, we are all experiencing, things are closed. A lot of individuals are not able to continue to work the way they were working or receive the income that they've been receiving. Also, too, we look at the borrower side, but also we have our third-party companies with title companies and our appraisers and some of our county offices that provide information to us that we need to successfully continue to move an application through the system. Like what we're doing today, technology has been able to offer us a lot of ways to be flexible with emails and phone calls and just moving things forward like we would, but maybe not so much in the face-to-face side of things. And again, as things change daily, we're constantly communicating on what those changes are and what things that United can do to, one, continue to provide great financial solutions and success in getting our members and our borrowers to the finish line, if it's with home ownership or even on the refinance side with saving them money with the current rates and how the rate market is right now.
Sorry, I took my phone off mute. With all the job losses, how are lenders responding to that issue in terms of the application process? What are some of the things that they're doing to make sure that that everybody is reviewed properly in this market?
Yeah, that's a great question. And what we've done already internally is any of our current purchase or refinance transactions, we have been able to reach out to all of our borrowers, talk with them a little bit about their current financial situation, if there are any changes. The good news is a lot of what we do does pertain to the market. And so if we have a transaction that's currently in process, chances are we've got another 60 days that we can honor the rate that we gave them. And so again, there might be within a week or two other changes that we are able to work between and kind of go around. We're also looking at every individual and every situation and every loan, whether it's a purchase or a refinance, in their specific and unique circumstances. Our goal is, again, to make sure that they feel comfortable and satisfied with the way that we can proceed. So if there's ways where maybe we're able to get a gift from a relative or a grandparent that will help us make and keep the wheels on that transaction, then that's an alternative. We're also able to work with employers, even though there are some individuals that are not working from their specific offices, but we're still able to make phone calls and send emails to get verifications of people's income that are still employed or maybe have a change in their employment. So we're able to work through those different pieces of our verification on making sure that it's still a good financial decision for our members and our borrowers to move forward. The one caveat that's different is with the unemployment piece of things. It's very fortunate that we do have folks that are able to be approved for the unemployment so that they minimize any risk that they have in their current financial lives. With the underwriting process of that, if someone does become eligible for the unemployment, we still require the 12 months proof of that. However, if there are other factors or, again, outside sources that we can still use as incoming income for those individuals, we're able to look at those different numbers and see what we can do for them. So it's fortunate that we've got the unemployment side of things. However, if you're in the middle of a transaction, we may have to look at just pausing where we are in the current economic time. And again, just looking to see in the near future, what do we think that will look like, and if they will return to work and be able to resume normal duties, that we can look at just kind of, again, pausing and then regrouping once that time comes and they're back to work.
Okay, that's great information. Thank you. What are we seeing in terms of purchase applications or refinance applications? Is either one leading the way right now, and how has that changed over the last 30 days or so?
Yeah, I would say we have definitely seen an uptick in refinance transactions, which is great. Being a credit union, we do price with where the market is, but we have the ability to look at our loans on one side of the transaction that follow the typical Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac guidelines. Those are our big kind of mortgage mom and dad, I like to call them, that make sure we follow our guidelines. But being a credit union, we also have the ability to keep those loans in-house, or what we call our portfolio loans. And so we're able to take a look at where we are with the market and interest rate, and again, be able to provide a great rate for someone that maybe not necessarily is offered through some of the other investors or brokers, because they follow different rules and guidelines. And so we do have more refinance transactions right now, but we still have a lot of purchases and a lot of purchase activity that's going on. A lot of individuals were able to lock in the interest rates while they're low. And again, it's going to take us about 30 to 45 days to get through that process. That's standard in the purchase and the refinance business. So again, those we're operating as business as usual, and we've got individuals locked in at those rates. So you're guaranteed to stay with that rate as long as we continue to move forward with the process. And most of those situations, we're saving folks money because we were able to lower their rate or change the term at their repayment. So they'll be able to not only skip a month's worth of payments in between when we close. So you've got a 1 month reprieve, but then when the next payment is due, it's going to be at that new rate and that new term. And so typically that's going to be a lot less than where someone is currently. So a lot of future savings and a lot of interest savings for our refinance members right now.
That's great information. What are we seeing in terms of any impact on credit score requirements from the underwriters and things like that right now?
So with our typical products, we have different guidelines for different products that we have that are out there. And so typically when you are at the mercy of having to sell your loans to a third party or to a broker, that you have to follow their guidelines. And so because we're a credit union, we still operate under normal credit score. So our minimum score is still 620, which is where it's always been. We do take a look at where someone's debt to income ratios are. We, again, try to look at the best possible solution for our members based on the various loan programs that we offer as a credit union. And so again, because we look at the whole financial picture and maybe looking at refinancing an auto loan to help them with their debt to income ratio, we keep that all here with United and can offer the best solution and alternative. So we haven't seen any impact with the credit score per se. We're business as usual with that front.
Okay. Are you seeing many people putting a pause on it, or trying to recognize the fact that their situation has changed so dramatically that they're backing off from making a purchase or completing a purchase at this time?
That's a great question. And actually that's been something that we continuously talk about. We have really only had one specific scenario where it wasn't a good financial decision for our members and our borrowers to continue forward with their purchase transaction. And we had taken a look to see where they were as far as down payment goes. Both of them in the field that they are currently in, both the husband and the wife had an extreme change in where they are with income, unfortunately. But honestly, with other situations, we've really been able to shift gears and even take a look at other alternatives in restructuring their existing loan to help put them in the best situation and get them still a great rate and a great loan program without having any other issues with their purchase. So we've only had one specific scenario as of right now. And other than that, we're, again, business as usual.
Good. That's great to hear. Anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to share? I know we're trying to keep these relatively concise, so just kind of a synopsis of your perspective on what's happening in the market, and like I said, covering things that we didn't talk about previously.
Sure. I would just say, again, we are always looking at ways to say yes and to help individuals. And the best way that we can do that is by having a conversation. Everyone is in their own unique scenario, but let's talk about it and let's bring it to the forefront. Our job is to give you great advice. And if the advice means, yes, we're fine, we're moving forward, that's awesome. If it's, what, maybe we should just pause, we'll keep things, in motion, but maybe now is not the time. Our goal is to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with the decision. And we all know that home ownership is a huge investment, but that the market is still great and that interest rates are still great. And even though the government and the government loans with FHA and VA, those parameters have changed a little bit, those are only 2 loan programs out of the many that we're able to offer. So I just recommend anyone to shop around, to have those phone calls, to have a face-to-face meeting. Just because one person may say no or it doesn't fit within the specific realm of what they're able to offer you, get a second opinion. And it never hurts to interview folks and ask the right questions, because it is an investment and it's worth the time and it's worth the question. So I say just pick up the phone or open up the computer screen and give someone a shout.
Very good. Thank you very much, Erica. Again, Erica with United Federal Credit Union, we appreciate your time. Again, this is a very unusual, unprecedented time in terms of just the entire economic situation. So anything that the lenders can do to keep these real estate transactions together, we appreciate, and we appreciate the information and feedback, and we look forward to talking again sometime soon.
Thanks, Myron. It's our pleasure. Appreciate it. Take care.
You too. Be safe.
Bye-bye.